If I told you that the president bought millions of dollars of stock in a company, and then just 2 weeks later, his own administration announced plans for a massive government purchase that appears designed around that company's products, you would probably say that sounds a little weird. It sounds a little bit corrupt. It sounds a little bit cronyistic. It sounds a little bit like a swamp. And that is the exact timeline that a new CNBC investigation is exposing. Here is that timeline. On February 10th, Donald Trump personally bought somewhere between $1 and $5 million worth of stock in Axon Enterprise. Axon Enterprise manufactures police body cameras. Many of the police body cam videos that you see floating around on social media are Axon body cameras. And Axon also manufactures 90% of the tasers used in the United States. That's February 10th. Trump buys millions in stock. 14 days later, February 24th, ICE announces we have a new contract we want to fill. We need 17,800 tasers. It's a 5-year contract for $220 million. And we need unlimited cartridges, and we need training for the tasers. And the key detail in this entire thing, because CNBC went and spoke to procurement specialists and policing experts, the specs of the contract directly match the taser products manufactured by Axon. So it is very clear that what's going on here is that Donald Trump personally bought a stake in a company, and then his administration designed an RFP, a request for proposal, which would directly go to, hey, Axon is the company that can really do this. Now, let me give you an analogy to what this is. Imagine that the government said, hey, we need a contract for electric vehicles. And the vehicles we need, we're not picking favorites. We'll work with anybody, but we need an electric SUV with a 400-mile range that has built-in air compressors in the trunk. And then you would look at the market and you would go, well, there's only really one SUV. It's the Rivian R1S that fits those guidelines. And the government could go, we just have a list of requirements. We're agnostic to who we work with. If you have an electric SUV that can go over 400 miles and has a trunk air compressor to pump up tires, then you can be considered for this contract. And it's like, yes, but you wrote that up knowing that Rivian is the only one. I'm using this example because I drive a Rivian, and that's what they are. And that is exactly what is going on here. We just want to get these tasers, and here's the list of requirements. Who can do it and deliver them in this volume? Well, it's probably only this one company. Now, I do think it's important to stick to the facts. There's no evidence that Trump directed the procurement that we have right now. There's no evidence right now that Trump knew that this procurement was going to happen before he bought the stock. There's no evidence Axon knew Trump became a shareholder. We don't have that information right now, and the investigation is clear about that. But of course, that's not really the issue. The issue is presidents are supposed to avoid situations where government decisions could even appear to benefit their own financial interests. And this certainly appears that way. Now, it could be even worse. It could be that everybody is in the know, and this is overt corruption. Right now, we only have the appearance of impropriety. Now, the White House insists there's no conflict. Trump's assets are held in a trust. His kids manage the trust. His investments are handled by outside financial managers. And by the way, presidents are exempt from federal conflict of interest laws anyway. So even if Trump were doing something sketchy, he's exempt from those laws. That is not a very strong defense because, of course, Trump talks to his kids. He knows what's going on. He knows what moves they're making with his money. And saying, even if I did this immoral thing, it wouldn't be illegal, is not like a super hot defense of your ethical guidelines. It doesn't answer any of the ethical questions here. Why should the president personally own millions of dollars in a company that stands to benefit from the policies of his own administration? Every administration should want to avoid that question, and instead it's coming up again. And the bigger pattern is really the concern. Is it crypto? Is it the family business ventures? Is it the licensing deals? Now it's stock holdings connected to government policy. There's story after story where Trump's public office and his private financial interests end up very close together. The article doesn't prove corruption. It doesn't prove Trump told ICE, write up a contract proposal that would directly go to Axon, which I own stock in. Those claims right now go beyond the evidence that we have, but it shows yet another situation of an apparent conflict of interest. These are the types of conflicts presidents are usually wanting to avoid because they care about public trust. I don't know that Trump really cares about that. When a president buys stock in a company and then his administration pursues a contract that seems tailor-made for that company 2 weeks later, people will ask questions, and they should. Most presidents care about the appearance of that. Trump doesn't seem to care. And to be frank, why would he care when there don't seem to be any consequences to him to doing this sort of stuff? Contracts handed out to friends, no bid contracts under faulty urgent emergency parameters to do the reflecting pool given out to people. I mean, Trump doesn't seem to care. And if you keep getting away with this sort of thing, at the end of the day, why would you care? So I can understand why Trump doesn't care. Other presidents would. The question, of course, is to the MAGA voters and the people who voted for this crap. Do you feel good that your tax dollars are potentially going to a contract cronyistically handed out to a company that Trump is an investor in? Do you feel good about that? It's a very simple question. And you can tell me, well, David, I don't want men and women's sports, or I don't want, I like the war in Iran or deportations or whatever. But are you happy that these contracts appear to be going in the direction of benefiting Trump and his family personally? Just answer that question. Let me know what you think. Most sweet snacks are either satisfying or sensible. Our sponsor, Magic Spoon, is both. Magic Spoon treats are crispy, airy snack bars with 12 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, 0 grams of added sugar, and 2 to 3 grams of net carbs. They come in great flavors like marshmallow, chocolate, peanut butter, and double chocolate, my favorite. A perfect, sweet, light snack I can throw in the bag and take on the go. They remind me of cereal bars, same texture and flavor, but without the carbs and without the sugar. Magic Spoon is easy to find. Just look for Magic Spoon at your local grocery store. They also rolled out treats nationwide at 7-Eleven. And if you haven't tried them yet, check out Magic Spoon's new protein pastries. High protein, low sugar takes on the classic toaster pastries I grew up with. You can get $5 off your next order, including the protein pastries at magicspoon.com/Pakman. The link is in the description.